Another malaka niam kanal diala kontin barwani lingwa seme ka Nuer online TV channel. Anda manduni chankwas nyamala nong rwaino gwaseme. Leotin bana lingwaseme tandien ka breaking news ni. The goro deran dero da palpin ka liangdien ka do badana chika tuoka ja. Bana mandan ensure the lat kim sure the lat tiang. Are wike South Sudan no bana jalin kim sure the lat pan. Be update mi jadid be ajilin gwaseme. An wale shanka jandang rude kel kapai. Badak ron kina dangro ude jandang rude diech. Bantin kone lat karuyen banaga chuling kel. Mi jira me jadid. Nyuak lera me kanedi kokien. Me bana linga a general update katin kone lat karodian. Mil dong la video la ja. Pali dari won da ja gorno deri ja tugu ko me dong te me gorno be ngai katin kone lat karodian. Ajan me la video me ber la na let ke jamo ko bana ko le te ko bana ko te ko shoblo aj ko mi shole ne ma tot ja tok be shu tok jush e bler ko ken bugalo no gor jeno dong de yen ler ko no tok de yen kalen jo ne ambalin gwaseme na bana racha ke kwi doctor matar before kan tok take update mi sha gor pan kan je kula follow up update mo kwi bure biey shalad ngo dong de te ka kor matot me de tok tin ki mi che tok tin me shalat na ka social media kana kul confirm ano mi che tok war kana tok but shalad no che te ka rɔal matot mi shoda lat no dio je jen tok tiang e pan kana mo kana confirm dong chen bro itin long but go re jeno de yen te ka ngach me di le long ka tin kon lat ko de re wichin wina mi mudong te ka mi shoda lat kam nentin kon tila ngwana nuari ki Nuer why am mi kanetin kon atila dini SSPDF so mete mi shoda lare which in me kan information kana jek I do not have any report from Brebe about last night katel me jektin mana dien bani mandong de nyoka mulada pan ka taye dan ci report ci ben ga jaga chang jan dangre a chap ki juch ke me shoda lade no dio je jan gwadana tiek ka tarjube chaladan wo te ka kormotor mi ci tokten ka koro mo dio ka jango kam kume SPLIO kene kume kirme yadit chente ke full detail ko kan ga jek I do not have full detail on that report I do know mandong de which de gujeno che to ka tadan chalat ke je chete ke panic mi ci to ka jodan chelling I do know kana gorna me kan kume SPLIO kan kana gor ka kana gorba kume kiir ke de ne SSPDF do know che korcha tok tar jubela tok la chala do dera kormidit bana all the detail bana calling letter ka gwazdan dong mo kon ler ko ken bana ka tu ka ja ko be kon kulete ka ngai ketin kon lat ka rodien update rodien kan kon no ka me update channel link kamandan en to ka doctor machar bana kulo work news ne te chodien la tiang wona ko shikir me yadit no che nyaare che kwanya la kuäär bana ubaka lere ko kente gor liang ki very important update ni to gor ano daro da palpinge ja doctor machar ngai kon en go jen ngode reti jen mande la update gwasame atare men te reti jen ke ja ka do brana chalat ke je en go jen ay wa point de en winemi wa chamal ashir ma ngayen no jen che jal no gege jen wo dong de win monder te ka ngach ka tade ka tada na chalat ke je wa cha dore la karab de cha jango ka cha piu ke tin kon la kan ka mat ke purin kontin lakna ke chen wa piu ken cha ka ngok electric and water cha ka wo cha la condition de wa condition me be ka do brana chalat ke je jo lat kona meni mishalat nathaniel yet no ram kuje jaramadan en la kuäär rode ka kuma SPLIO la deputy chairman ka jaramadan la acting chairman tama ka gwa doctor machar mungo doctor machar ngode keti jenone so be kon mishid na me bana jang haji no ka jan kujamo ka kui Dr. Riek Machar gur jano dene diale kan tega ngai keman la ro ko dio je chana report ba chikona ling man chalat na tanelu yat chaje tij man chal ke BBC Africa BBC Africa chika rach ke na tanelu yat ke jom jikana lat and take micheling mi chati ke je eno guji de no jin and man to kan tamare wi ke so Sudan ba to gede no kan yen no Dr. Machar chala do jan cha duralat and dob dana going ka je awa criminal case chinatanelu yete lo jan wonena janne che janno Dr. Machar tele dur mi chalat naitin continue ko chala no jeshen bor and o taga kel ke Dr. Machar chala no naitin continue ku clash and okay ke force dun kiir mayardit nyene kan ka hali clash dena na mo la kuma spela yo teken ke deni ken tetegolka lo tel mat ke kama nana to chana me to kor shikan den so anwo ba Dr. Machar ba je blame jana mo a systematic way ba Dr. Machar ba je silent ke je ka tele dur mishalat kina to ne lu yet jo mo che jelat jana no ba Dr. Machar ba je charges jani charge me bang unprecedented detention mishalatin mital tar ke mital chong ka injustice manana chalat ka Dr. Machar ko Dr. Machar telele tetin point e kira jaram dana ku clash kanetin kontin la hali janyo ko tejbe an wojin ka gujede no kore wa ka yen togo mo ka to yana ka janna Nasir ko sia general sia janak kala no general we lukor kanetin kontin gwaldan nyenyetin ka hali anyok ena penal chi Nasir karwade similar place chi Korea tuoktin ja tuoka ka penal ja tuoka jongle ja ka United State la point de way the point e kirma yadi tene ka take core point la jankarodian ka chade larno e Dr. Machar to ko ke to ga Nuer kon te ka Nasir anyok boche to ka Equatoria ka Western Equatoria all the places around the country chi korche tokten ando badan de blem ni te kon te ka Nasir ka wada ke Nuer wayami jene shi to ko no mo but drop kanije kume kiir mayardit ka do badan shalat ke je anatnelu yet ka kujamo men beje long jene Dr. Riek Machar no tere ti jen ka jente ka condition me bej ano shere mangai kona la tok eno ti Dr. Machar tere ti jen ko kir ko ja benefit jen menen yen no gor jeno de ken United States bane lat ken no man shala da kuma kir mayardit shema gor ken no de Dr. Machar de jelon do Dr. Machar ngode charge gor no de jelonya kir mayardit ka kuje moni na meni shalo ka kir ajando badan en len ngaro den keja update dana bana watin ngwase me ki breaking news of the dana bana ling bana racha ke ki kir mayardit ka taye dana she degree che jalat keja tiang degree jen she nyaadɛ che ja kuany ala kuäär ena ala nya kir mayardit ana me jen dana bana gor ban ling ngwase men tama men dana le rode ko bi kon ko te kan ngurung tinan go ngu ma kwain kire nyaada mo re ne dial na mani shabana la ne to wan long shika reaction midi ti kana lat ka ta danen che kir no she move do den che jale ne mek ba nyaada ba ja kwain ala kuäär no ka jan jo me bu kon linga bana tok bana jang hajanu en nya kir ma yadi ngu ma kwain ka je ka jan gwase mane kajan jo me bana lingane la South Sudan president ja nyaadɛ ki nyamandana dabjen ja kwany ala presidential envoy no jaram danan biajel ka kui kir mayardit ka jo mi chalat ka changa jandang ro ka pai badak ron kin dang ro de jandang ro de dich South Sudanese president Salva Kiir has appointed his daughter Adut Salva Kiir as senior presidential envoy for a special program, a move seen by analysts as part of a broader trend of consolidating power within the ruling elites. Jolin kon magwase me ala kir mayardit nyaade je kwany alangu je kwany ala kuäär ala presidential envoy. antama chinetin kontila na leskeniti kontila roitin ngaike o ngum le ro da re wika so Sudan jikala no kiir mayardit awa power gore jengo bete dora karwade lo power ko ja consolidate ka jawaran chalat ka ja milin kon magwasa me an komadan en kiir mayardit kam nyaadɛ chale adut Salva Kiir nyaadɛ mdabjen en go be nyaadɛ be ja kuany ko be power be ja consolidate ke be power be chuto gwakel we mgore janu be family members be ka push ko bi kana kwar bi kana ko ken bi ken karwach no ka jo ku kon lingwase me ka tada na Kiir mayardit che mu mishit kana me che jama ka ja en komadana shakam adut Salva Kiir Kiir mayardit en position money chaja kon kan gwase dan Dr. Benjamin Bolmel was Kiir mayardit envoy ke president envoy before a kanana kuany ala vice president jen gwade teten and that position karwade me shakam Dr. Benjamin Bolmel ano jen Kiir mayardit de nyok kame je nyaada money luon tama chi nyaada cha gwa edan ete Dr. Benjamin Bolmel teten che nyoko mekeneja ngai kone in February the reinstatement of the post now occupied by Adut Kiir has drawn criticism over perceived nepotism and concern about growing political dynasties within the country leadership because this position was previously held by Dr. Benjamin Bolmel and come sha kante nyame ko dunguru inshallah Bolmel ne wal mi mongai kono no lalar kano cho nya Kiir mayardit ke family so wanyu the jeno ne me adob ko bi power ke leo bete ka family Kiir mayardit lon tama chinete ngwantama chiga tega dwal kamandante niam men bro de lat ka gwasen be ano me Kiir mayardit kwanya na family members kaja kanere content ba kumba jarwach ano nete ngwan dwal ke chinete ngwan chiga dear ano no cha Kiir ntama cha jala jora no jen gore jen o be siasa mentre wika so Sudan no be jage ko ram mo tok de lep either be jana ke be jayen ci ramana gorka no la adut Kiir Salva Kiir nyamo jen chaja kon kwanyane la ramimo ran humanitarian jen le yana ne la we kudeini jele we kudeini ko jen brodo kon ngake deini ka baja ngach jen ta dan let Kiir ko familiar kene deini non ka kwan lede ko machal ke borehole ala maturi lede ke deini so the reality ke te shalat nyamene Adut Kiir, who has recently been engaged in humanitarian work through a non-profit, the Adut Salva Kiir Foundation, has not held a formal government position before. Her new role places her among the president's closest aides. Mugi economy ko jaram lel ke humanitarian wengni wen la na la ka loga take Michigan organization Michigan kamrarwal jikana gore wonene the Adut Salva Kiir Foundation mi machalel ke ciötdɛ eko bikana kula loka ja wajen kana kume kana position ga kume kan ja kon kaniwal kana kona kuäär ne ka gwase dan kia kana kon melat ka position ko belet ka government ka jodan chalat but che gwan che jatagrar che jalat gwade dan an chol kone ko organization ko ngai kone organization te ko yuru ngwan long ko en jicheng te gor kana biga te kam biken je so gwade dan wodon wokir we long so they family that they can ngot kame they can tidial they can ka whole they can ka hon within South Sudan. So en mishir kana mem right ko antamene dial china riak eno ngume kwainka adut ngume kwainga jela presidential envoy charat gwasmen wo jen gor ke jeno gor kirno betie kaja ko bana be kula lwak but in another way our power consolidating ke power consolidation mimo ala bom ke le gor jeno be jerom ateram bibin a chenge tegaring muji twong jeno kina tama de la na aduten. But very concerning here, Tadan and position me chakon kam wudishal kame Dr. Bolmel nika gwase dan. So we know the general Tadan latka gwasme wa chi chong. En matuoge awa kiir role kam ne diality awajen jenede ko kien cheka mo ka gwanwan te gdio je te mishaling alawa niga che nyaare che jalat kuäär kene che kol manyang jugba che nyaare che jalat kuäär dio je dong de yen ngai ti che titine waninga ngai ko na jarami dan la vice president man che gwada kula kambol mel, right? And then shuarara dien shalga jaral kol manyang juk cho nyaare cho jale na kwany no anyok rara diem chala jaral Daniel aweta kodba cho nyok mo kwanya je kie chene ken chaka kwany. So right now anyway, let me read this out loud ko biaje kuleling ko gor ko na bana te kamandana talk. The appointments come amid a wider pattern of children of permanent liberation era figures being placed in senior government position. These include the son of former Vice President James Wanega, the daughter of Presidential Advisor General Kwal Manyang, and the daughter of General Daniel R. Whitcott. Milin kwan magwasame neren content cha kwany alaga dudu mchale Wanega cha kwany aram kel mche te kuäär kalong ajaram la vice president cha nyawur go mchal go general Kwal Manyang juk cha nyomu cha ja kwany cha wuri chal go General Daniel R. Whitcott cha nyar cha nyo kwany lo tema ka kwar re wich and wanamo. So much it can milin kona me one ideal she can surprise. It does not surprise anyone. This move cha make a kira kojen is trying ko wo je ne tin ko ken bag bika god ken biken galaten we ko take power. You see that? So neme movie jakshi movie go movie jak long she movie go akatidial ano jin bine ko ken bika watch bagad ken be ko lat kuäär ko gui jeno mu generun no chigad ke chicken kuäär ken bijak. So this is system magor jeno be family ne ken ken ko na take power un ken bu kuma be ro jano. So mu jang ne tin wan ko bika question bikana kan ngum lat ke ken mayardit, you know, too much. James Baboya, senior policy analyst, say that the trend reflects a move toward what he described as inheritance governance. Ajenam latka me kiir mayardit chere ko tema alamen te gur michelu then be kan jin gad awa jena latka ala gur mite ka kak be kam gada ke nyaade jen let kira kir gur jeno be power beje kam nga beje kam gad ke beje kam ne ke tin content market je kana me chede let ke kuma South Sudan inheritance governance buruji ko bilo kam ngungu che kule la kingdomship no machelet ko kingdomship la lere na jin king michilu bugadu be kwerbe lele bagwad be jenang. So kingdomship ke South Sudan I don't think no there la chedem lan madong. So chedem la chedem ngai kona no achan na me miling be te michalat gwasemene.
The governance arrangement in South Sudan appears to be changing rapidly and it's changing towards rewarding inner cycle in a way that is promoting something I call it inheritance governance. And inheritance governance means when the political formation is losing power, then they have to begin to transition their power to their own either relatives or their own children, their own in-laws, or their own nephews. So basically it's the closest structure of society that tend to benefit from this process. So that is the definition of inherited governance. And you've seen this in the name of Daniel Awed and the child. You've seen this in the name of the Kwal Manyang Juk and daughter. You've seen this in the name of James Wanega and also the son. So, and now we have seen this several times with the president himself, Salva Kiir mayardit, where he actually brings an in-law to be in the government. He brings a son, as we've seen in his office, and he brings now a daughter as a personal advisor on special programs. So basically, it's about protecting the political arrangements of this kind of persons in government. And at the same time, it's a way of circulating the resources of South Sudan in the hands of those few. So basically, they're actually expanding the redistribution of resources and redistribution of power within the inner cycle of the presidency.
So, Mling Yename, Jordan and Charlotte. Lakir mayardit guard kedial, Jatanian chagalat military, Jatandian chagalare kumaka. Anyok Canadian Contilla Quarako Ken Mukwala Chole, Egin Diet Mishi retire, Kish Liu, Bakwakba Kolokan, a guard ku, a jandan let kenne. So, Quang can guard Ken Kobe, a can bo quercamo. So, Mishi Rename, a riek. Ano brand be power be centralized ki be power be kanala dunde ino benedi ko kien be ka tagrar alo gwi jenone ko kien tele mudong de kan la luang and all that so na makarwa de wajega. So when political power is perceived to be slipping, leader began transitioning influence to close family members or relatives. Decentralized power and redistributes state resources within a narrow inner circle. Why yarangu yarata dana de naren roikija. Some yoga me kir mayardit use a alodi bene diatin content rayuka Sudan bega confused. Eno ladene magwa. Ala transitioning wajin chujira metina mat member chumniala bila ka kome me binyolet kana bila membership ka top level ano baje wuj balari ga long chai bin mal wuchara momo so mi shirka na makarwade eriek si me de lat arami mo la kuäär si me de lat arami muno go be wede be go ake be wich be wonyam so jo me link kona me ami bej civil society group chicken warning chicken to ajanna me gwi ken no na beriting one bekeno. He warned that such move risks sidelining qualified individual and could undermine public trust. This is dangerous for the country. It puts out capable professionals who could contribute to good governance and national unity and development. Mr. Kaname pointed a one will become mayardit bashir man kenet in corner take benete konin che gwartin chi kan tegden kelu chi kan latko bika gwar bika country bika change be tegden wa be batch kodi men chi gwar ka je ko der la dre which wa chi bile la let ko sha position cha kam nga cha je kam ramadan en laran chi man ramamo so munyu den wodi kir mayardit mo kwanya ne katin kon tekeje kwanya kelo kenet content bukule ten gwasmo wa neme a dangerous move the country mishet ke South Sudan jagane dialen kontin la tin chitok kila tin professionally tin de wide kan reale ka ke de ka mugwade kan lare wich jaka ko bi kan ga tagrar so neme jana kwal gujeno mitu kirche god ke ko kwan kine de kontila close friend kwanye ke laga kare kwara wana me ami jakalong ko bene diala konti non chiran qualify be jillo ko chi jen part of kiir. Civil society group have also criticized the appointment. Termanyanga, which a human rights activist called the move direct nepotism. Kol manyang jukela de no nene kiir mayardit menchalat ajene amishal ke nepotism ko ramo kwa ni chiamane termanyanga which aram kel kan the civil activists ke civil society group nere kontin mitie mi jeng mi chilatika na dwal ko bran bejelar ajanna me a direct nepotism ko jin binyar bije kwany bicho nyar bije kwany ana mo awa aramimo si corruption chelat chejelat ke nepotism chejelat che gono tene to ken tibudwar biele jek awa ke move mi chiro de lot shikala do nena this it is not surprising that children of liberator are being appointed. But place one own daughter in such a senior position will be seen by many as unfair, he said. There are many qualified young people in South Sudan without employment. Merit should be the main criteria. Lat ken no nene en mishala den wo balan netin konti chi which can struggle ga kwire kan bukan nyeken bukan kalara ja ke gat ken wana me she chong. chiran che nyar ye de lat kuäärɛ chiran che gar che de lat kuäärga ka te gane ko kien te qualified young people ngane te bom ka wi ka pel ko jin gor jen oblani jidwaro men jo melin gwasame.
First of all, it is not a surprise to me as a human rights activist and executive director of Center for Peace and Advocacy for the President Kiir to appointed the children of liberators in the country. However, this move appointing his own daughter is going to criticize. I mean, is going to receive a lot of criticism from the public. Okay. First of all, you need to appoint also somebody who is not related to you, if you want fairness, because if giving such a person a public office like this, I think this is not right for me. And for example, if you look at the issue of the employment opportunities now in the country, because when you appoint the person, he is coming with opportunities in terms of, for example, now South Sudanese youth are unemployed. You see, so they don't have anything. You cannot give a job to the person that has already jobs, okay? And people will see it as a direct nepotism, okay? But if you could give position to other people, okay, from other tribes, and why not appointing a person maybe from Asholi or maybe from Shuluk or maybe from Murde as a president special advisor for the spiritual program.
So Joe Lincoln Magwasa me Mishala de Dentar Manyang civil society group activist and Janiman Chala de Mayardit a direct nepotism. A jane corruption ko tele ramimo mede kwa niji duare ki kwanya nyaadɛ ko bejelel jaramadana bia presidential envoy she dental manyanga do she kula do nene ngu miji kiir kwani rada diena dong dera shuluk dera Nuer dera jangdo dien ki dera murle ki en doro mo dara ni kotoria ngu me check je kwanya me kwanya nyaade moni re kwarka na me a direct nepotism ki corruption ko gorano be sheman be ko kwany jela kona laden wona ne te dia lat ke rodien ti kirm yadi la power gorje no badunde tel rami mo be dor bi le lonka lene re wi ka so Sudan jenda let kiren tama. So when we benyar beje appoint ki beje kwanya la kuäär media galong kashimgwa. Appointment should reflect national diversity and inclusiveness. Me kwa inkaran chai bi kwa inko jin part of the family. Ba je kwa inko take mengaji ka take magwa medong take je. Tega jo mchalat gwase me Edmund Yakani, executive director of the Community Empowerment for Progress organization. No. Wude me shalke Edmund Yakani me ramkel mlaroje activist ba chejo chejalat gwase me mugor ko na bana linkel katadan en charai kamadana chalat akuma kirma yadit. Edmund Yakani, executive director of the Community Empowerment for Progress organization, urged adut kiir to demonstrate leadership in her new role. We hope she contribute to peace, stability, and accountability. Her performance will be closely watched, Yakani said. This is a political appointment that demand merit and effective public service. She must work to support a genuine political transition from conflict to peace. Yakani warns against the pitfall observed in other countries where presidential family members fail to prioritize public interests. This is a serious political test for her. She must demonstrate that she can rise above personal or familial interests and deliver for the nation. Jolin kono gwase me Edmund Yakani gwase me it seem kaja kene tadana sha adut sha ja kwa ingeje kene je la jor lole di shi mede kene kid me yadit, but one thing chalar gwase me jalad nu ne shi mi shit ka tin to ka country do dien shit me la rana kwa inke ka family members bola ne nyanga ko kien. I think would shall Edmund Yakani la roja gwapen, but at this point she right. If you let she gemanda to a country into cocaine, cut it could ya kutur to let Chalado de no winner. Nya call my young Duke Kwan. che gadwani ga che nyogalalet che jarol dodien bo che nyar che nyokwen what are you talking about edmun yakane so neme we mean that she right the manan sharat gwasame e gune be service mugwa be le chu chet kaneten content tongami it should condemn this move from kiir mayardit chirgaman chalat denter manyang kanete ko kenen konen shi gujeno malat ka gwasame and nepotism ka shi chong ke shemangwa so jo me der gwa en wode ko ngaje no kiir man chalat ko kwende ka nyaade e der ka shi chong ka jo dan en chitwok so gwadame gor jenwo de kon mchirina me de kon ling kala de bana lingwas me goro dong de palpin ba ka liang de ko ra che ke kwichek e cha kwan kiir mayardit no a chega me vice president for service cluster Josephine Lagu te gane de kwanya ne ka gwade dan kane de ko ne cha kwan no chega kwanya la kwar yakula de wonene employees in vice president Lagu office idle at home amid lay of fear ala jila den kon let ken kel tin cha kwan ke je kel kiir jala den wa ken tike chien chicken be wa dwalken. More than a dozen employees in South Sudan Vice Presidential Office say they have been ordered to stay home for the past 6 months without work, raising fear they are being phased out despite still receiving salaries. Arajan take a neck, teacher going to Wazdan done, but I you know tie sheen, Katicateneka, Pedang Bakel. Do no tad take a sheen a jama wakan dwalken. Do no can a cap can you can pine. Do no can a cha, do you can know charcoal, Jan Machaka Cholkaja. The staff members from the Office of Vice President for Service Cluster, Josephine Lagu, say that they were sent home soon after she was appointed by President Salva Kiir Mayardit on February 10. They suspect new personnel have been brought in to do their job. Naden Conte cha kwantente ko officer and chairman ne to wacha jogo no ya chingna gwaze dane cha kwanyen Vice President Lagu la kuäär Kiir Mayardit ka kore chwane ga diala ya jogo no ya ching ano kutile la one ga kanedi ka dobi kanalat ano ngamlet ka gwada so chitmen yana me condition kel kaka okay ko kanisha chwonen cha jabat changman kep kan UK kep kan sala niken no kanisha chwona cha jabat we mean that cha ne relief so chinelet ko ne shenga dana shi janna Lagu me ke vice president me cha la ladin shega mone wa chwane to chwa chu so kan chine diran tama ko chalet ko cha kama ki chane gor eno dong de ne lelet jo dan en chicken lat gwasme lo kan dier kan longatin ko ne chorian lat man bana nyoga mugui kono gwasme bana right ka kwiwut ka man shalke Francis Michael ne me update ka kwi kureke wuda me jerre wika South Sudan wajen chalada chejetuk Francis Michael as official assumed office as the new president of the South Sudan Football Federation SSFF following his election last week. Amin was welcomed into the Federation headquarters in Rock City, Juba on Wednesday in honor of a ceremony marking his return to the top football seat. This is second time leading the Federation, having first served as a South Sudan Football Federation president from 2017 to 2021. Wouldn't Conor Magwasme General Chakor which was a watch and honor and Temachanyo Mokwangaje ka gwasde dan cherwe ke jarwon kin dang redwal baro la Ramadan and te kurte tikede wona ka 2021 but ka kore chaje bugo janta ma chanyo mo kwa inkaje alo cha kwan ala kuäär Ramadan la president ma ka South Sudan Football Federation chewun michal ga General Agostino Madot Parek chaje woch michi let ka korpen dangwan ka jodan chalat keje wani ka ciötdɛ to ayu kam office de kan tema chalat jeje tok re wika South Sudan ka jodan en chalat ngai kono no kure very important long re wika South Sudan ka do badan and dong de fal pointer tetin ka de ko game ka jiwen mountain ko kien chire manda ngai kono cause tidialti lat ka tilara ka game ko kure te ka mi jegatin so ne me kel modong de konte ka ngaide ka do badan en chalat keje le de diana bana nyoko mukwen kona gwase me dung South Sudan la humanitarian crisis wude me jen che jalat Minister Albino attack addressing the media, addressing the South Sudan people and one humanitarian affair and disaster management. Albino called attack as one of an impending humanitarian catastrophe in South Sudan, driven by high influx of refugees from the conflict in Sudan and the devastating impact of climate change. Jola de magwas me charaja long kata dan en humanitarian no chetel kun mi jeke long ko china chi ngwan ka jene mandane jega long ata dan en chi refugees chi ngware which ka South Sudan chela do ne jene entame direkten konen chitwok awone o chinyoche tin ke chi tadan la climate change tin china tike chuch ka jeno tela kwan mitrei wich jena kul jogo no ne gore jenwo de lok de jetup ka jom chela do ne he highlighted that millions of people particularly in Lake Western Equatoria, Northern Bargazal and Unity State are expected to be affected by severe flooding between September and October. Ajana gwasme wudame gente widi chadak climate change kwana pele humanitarians and dan en cha kon cha jege ne kon la tup ka lok ke queen en kon en jen kore che ge Sudan antama jene man ne kon en bishu jetama ke Western Equatoria State ke Lake State ke Northern Bargazal ke Unity State ko ge jeno atu ka jan pai wongan be wo ka pai wala wa binyoj bidi long kan gwadamo bana baka fek ka kon dana de kan sham so humanitarian situation bo ka mere bana rode re which ka South Sudan ka Jordan en chalat gwase me chana ben ka menjak Kenya telo de long katin kon lin kalin gwase me ka Nuer online TV channel ko la kona goro no ban rwani kon lat Caribbean bana killing ade jogo no thank you ka kon al post ko bi ko lerti ti bi kon ka la link ka gwase dana ci ka to ka je jen gwase dana gore no de chongtin na me anda mandu ni chang kon nyak mala ya no rwani gwase me en wala chang yen dangro de kel ka pay badak ron kin dangro wide jen dangro wide dich nyak lere me kene ko ken kachu japel rejba ano jin mi jiram jadit ano ka ken subscribe ko Nuer online TV channel goro no jin bi channel bi support thank you and ban nyo je kala rodien bi ateka mal bye bye.